wrote the song Jesus I Believe because we were standing with people every night who'd been given just a really terrifying diagnosis. That diagnosis became their identity. And so when we went to make a video for this song, we wanted it to be about causing hope to rise in people. The video is basically the story of a young lady who receives a diagnosis, and they begin to pray and believe and they trust the Lord. And then my favorite part of the video is when she gets the good word from the doctor, and the look on her face, that really says it all. And God is who He says He is, and we trust in Him no matter what. The people in the video are not actors. They're just people who had been through, honestly, some of the most terrible things I've ever heard of. But because of how they encountered God in the middle of it, they are here today to encourage other people going through things because of the hope that they found.
I remember just looking at her and just saying, Hannah, last night this evil thing happened to our family, and your dad did not survive. I was a single mom at 20 with a little baby girl, and I remember the first time that my phone rang. When I answered, it was Matt, and he was calling to ask me out on a date. And 4 months later, we were getting married. Matt adopted Hannah, and the next years of our lives were full of having kids. And I remember having this thought about him when he got up that night to go to Josiah's cry. He's a better dad, better parent than I am. And he brought him to me and put him in the bed between us. And he just said to me, he just needed his mama. And we went to sleep. I remember just hearing a sound, and I just turned my head towards our door and saw the shadow of a man just standing in our doorway. I immediately knew that this was real, like this was not a dream. And he opened fire on us. And Matt got up to fight with the man, and I knew that I had been hit. And I just grabbed Josiah out of the bed and we ran out of the house. And I remember being on the phone with 911, knowing that I was bleeding. SWAT team got there within minutes and were taking me to the hospital. And being stitched up and having a doctor come into my room to tell me that Matt did not survive. You know, what came out of me was a sound that I had never heard, but it was a nightmare, and I knew that I was living this nightmare. I was really living out trauma. Every night it would set in. As the sun would begin to go down, I would start having physical anxiety and just feeling so afraid. And being a believer, praying every prayer, I did all that stuff, and the fear would not relent. And I started realizing that I didn't trust anyone. I didn't actually trust the Lord. And the root of 5 years of being afraid at night came down to that one thing, that I really didn't trust Him to protect me and to really take care of us. And I remember just having that thought about the Lord, like, I don't know why you let this happen, but I know that I am your daughter and you're with me, that our story was not going to end with ashes. And for me in that moment, it was like the darkness lifted and I saw a light, that there was going to be a way to get through it, would be to cherish hope and to cherish who He is and to believe in His promises. And I got a phone call from a dear friend who said, you know, there's somebody that has a similar story and has lost his wife, and he's a father, and he loves the Lord, And would you be interested in getting to know him? Our response to the Lord when those bad things happen is everything. It's really being able to choose to see His goodness, to really believe His purpose in that is to bring about something good.
If your hope is based on the outcome, there's nothing supernatural about that. But when you can hope in the face of the most terrible things that have ever happened to you, that is not natural. There's something greater at work, or rather, I should say, someone greater at work there.